Welcome to another episode of the Milk and Sugar Effect's Mavericks, and we're speaking to two very different kinds of Mavericks today. They are sisters, they have their own businesses, and they are completely different. But before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and of course, like and share if you like the podcast. Even if you don't like it, share it anyway and like it anyway. Help us grow this thing. Sabrina and Skylar. Sorry, that's a great start.
We don't mind. You can call us whatever.
It could be that I'm just a bit squid. Skylar and Sabrina, great to have you on Mavericks. And you are two Mavericks in a completely different kind of way. Tell me a little bit first, Skylar, about your sister.
My sister. She's hell on earth.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. She's my best friend. And I think this year I've seen her grow so much, especially with this business. I think it's been very challenging. And to see her, become a grown-up and work so hard. I've never seen anyone so dedicated. And I'm super proud of her. And we're best friends. We fight a lot.
Yeah.
But we're best friends.
Sisters have to fight a lot. So, Bree, what about your sister?
Oh, no, she's very strong-willed.
Oh, wait, I forgot to say she's very stubborn.
Okay, here I'm getting in the middle of a domestic. Let's get on to the business. We'll get your impressions of your sister in a minute. You've both got businesses that you've decided to start yourself. They're completely different kinds of businesses. Skylar, tell me about how you got into Skylar Jade and exactly what is Skylar Jade?
So Skylar Jade is me. No, it sounds a bit conceited that I gave my brand that name. But so I started off doing fashion, and then I started my own fashion brand. And I loved it. It's really fun, and it was creative, and it was very hard because I made all the stuff myself. So then also to dive into the fashion industry is very hard. To also make money and make a living from it is quite difficult. And then, so basically what happened is I've got lots of friends in the medical industry and family in the medical industry. And I think my cousin said to me one day, she was like, don't you want to make me a pair of scrubs? So why would I want to do that? That's so boring.
Yeah.
I don't do scrubs. I do fashion. Yeah. And then I chatted with my parents, and they were like, flip, Skylar, that's actually such a good business opportunity because there's so many people who wear scrubs. If it's in the medical industry, if there's salons, there's, it's so big and quite a vast group of people wear it. But then to create something that stands out, that's not the same as everything else, and use my fashion background to come up with something that's fashionable but still practical. So then I made some scrubs, I started designing them, and then it's just kind of taken off from there.
It is a very weird kind of step to go from being in fashion, darling, to be doing scrubs for the medical profession. One wouldn't necessarily make that kind of leap as a natural thing. Yeah. Bree, for you, your mum is a very well-known foodie. So it makes sense in some respects that you have got into baking. But tell me a little bit about your story of how you decided that was going to be a career that you were going to get into.
It started very different. I think I started, as soon as I left school, I was like, I want to go and study, get a degree. So I went to do psychology. And then while I was doing psych, I was doing nutrition on the side. So I got my diploma in nutrition. And then I started working for a bunch of restaurants, started doing their nutrition stuff and that side of things. And then I decided after a year and a half, I think having parents like mine, like my mom and my dad, they're very entrepreneurial people. So I think we've grown up in a household where you have your own business, so I think that's normal for them, and it's normal to be around that. So I think I wanted to start that. And I think I'm a creative. I love creating things. So I think, I saw a bunch of stuff overseas of cookie shops and bakeries and all of that. And I think I went straight into that. I think I left my job at Olives and Plates because I worked there for a bit. And then I started baking and coming up with cookies, and then it just blew up. I don't know what happened. I don't know why the world likes cookies so much, but
it's the videos.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. And thanks for bringing that up, Skylar, because I think for both of you as young entrepreneurs of a particular generation, I've got a couple of years on you. It's like you start businesses in very different ways, right? Yeah. Social media is the thing that drives business. How has social media helped you with Skylar Jade, for example?
Because you reach people that you never thought you would reach. So for me, I think social media has been a big thing behind it. But I think it's also by word of mouth has been, funny enough, has actually been a really good thing for my business. Social media is great and the reach is great and people are hearing about the brand, which is really amazing. But I think for me, it's meeting people. And also what I've noticed with the scrubs is that a picture, people aren't going to see what the actual thing, it's about the fabric, it's the detail. That stuff you really see in person. So for me, I think the best thing is going to visit people, show clients things. While social media has been great, and obviously like it's a huge tool that we do need now, but I think also being in person, those kinds of things have been quite beneficial for me, which I'm surprised because I thought I'm going to just post something on Instagram, it's just going to blow up and sell out everything. It's not like that. I think you've actually got to sometimes put in the work, and when people see it and they touch it and they see, oh, here are the details and the quality is amazing, I think that's a selling point for me. So I think that's quite important.
So Bree, Skylar said video. She mentioned videos the moment I said social media. Would you have a business were it not for social media, or are you a bit like Skylar where it's still like the face-to-face is important?
Honestly, don't think my business would be where it is if I didn't post about my business on Instagram. I think a lot of people go down the TikTok route and all of that and the websites. And I started off doing videos of just like my day in the life. It's like, it sounds so stupid, but people love seeing what goes in behind your business and what you're doing behind the scenes. So I started doing that. I started basically just showing people what I do in my day. And that took off so like tremendously, which is amazing. But that doesn't also come without the criticism and the, people that
do give an example.
Yeah. So I started doing voiceover.
So cruel as a sister. Just that you know.
I'm pretty transparent as well.
Skylar is the older sister, so it makes sense when she starts saying this stuff like that.
Yeah, but like in the beginning, I started making videos and doing like a voiceover for my videos. And people would roast me. They literally say, the one lady said, she's like, you know, Sabrina, you sound like a mosquito. And someone else was literally like, your voice grates my soul. Someone else said like, you sound sick, you need to take some meds. So like those kind of things, it's hard to sometimes just brush off and be like, it's fine. But I think you do, the further on you get, I think you also realize that you are going to have people that don't like you. They don't always agree with what you do. And not everyone's going to be your fan. So,
sure. And they might not like your cookies, or they might not like your scrubs. How do you deal with that criticism when it gets personal? Let's start with you, Scott. No,
no at first.
Because I mean, you're right, because creatives actually don't handle criticism well. It's not one of our strong points, right? It's like somebody criticizes you, they're criticizing your brand, they're criticizing your person. You know, how do you get past that? Let's start with you, Skylar.
I think
I'll go.
She loves to talk. She's like, I'm so excited about this. Okay, get to the point.
No, so I think it's hard not to take it personally, because I think when you create something, you put your time, your love, your effort into it. So it's basically like it's just a product of you. And when someone insults that or says something negative about it, obviously you get a bit defensive. But I think I heard this thing was amazing. And it said that this one lady was saying that you can be the most beautiful peach, the most firm peach, like the most beautiful peach. But not everyone likes peaches, you know, and it's not everyone's going to like you, and not everyone's going to like the product that you come up with, but that's okay, you know, so you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, whether it's you as a person or your product. So I think you actually have to like get that in your head that like not everyone's going to like what you do, and that's fine. But it's also, I think it's hard because in business, when you have your own business, you can't tell people and be like what you're actually thinking, you know, you have to calm down.
Well, you can, but it might not work out best. Sometimes it doesn't go down. Skylar, yours is more of a you were saying it's more of a face-to-face thing. You kind of like interact with your clients a lot more. Does that help, do you think, having that immediate feedback of being able to read people quickly and go, well, oh, actually, I can see they don't really like this?
Yeah. I think it's with also like how people fit things. For example, just an example is like someone's very unsure. You get some insecure people, and with clothing, whether it be fashion or scrubs, it's what you're taking pride wearing every day. So I think some people are like, I don't know if I can pull this off, or I don't know if this fits me. And then you can be like, oh no, but we can fix this, or we can change this, or this fits you better. Oh, let's go a size up. But
Which must be the difficult one. Like when you say to somebody, let's go a size up.
I've had things like that you don't even know. No, I had
I think you should give an example.
Should I give an example?
Since we all being transparent.
We had a lady who at a practice, I get a message saying, no, these are big chicks. So I was like, okay. So then I'm like, no, we've got sizes for everyone. So we get there and I had to make up a specific size, which was an 8XL, and my friend climbed in the pants, just the one leg. So, which is super fun.
Yeah. But it must be, so it sounds to me like for you specifically, you're kind of designer, businesswoman, and also part psychologist or psychiatrist, where you're helping people get through their issues.
I think that's maybe why I'm good with people. I think like going back to what you were saying about the in-person thing, I think for me, it's good to chat with someone, have an understanding of like what they want out of a product, then what I can offer them. And I think having a conversation is so much better with someone in person. I am an in-person person. I'm not. Bree's business is completely different. And like you see a cookie and it looks like that and you can buy it. But for me, it's kind of like chatting with someone, having a good relationship. I think what's been a really key thing in my business is meeting with clients, like big companies. And it's quite intimidating. Like I got a phone call from a lady saying, please just come in and bring like some scrubs. And I was like, oh, sure. And I'm like, half the time I'm in factories in the back of like warehouses I'm wearing like such casual stuff because I'm carrying rolls of fabric and, in dirty things. And then I've just arrived there and there's a whole boardroom waiting of people. And they asked me to like present my stuff. And I was like, perfect. So then you just kind of make it up and like so brave. And they're like, is it this and this and this and this? I'm like, let's test it. The one lady said, oh, is it waterproof? So I said, let's test and put it on someone. And we threw a glass of water at this person. I mean, it wasn't completely waterproof, but like.
That might have been awkward.
But it's, yeah.
There must be moments where you think, what on earth was I thinking getting into a business on my own? And you mentioned your parents, and we're going to come and chat about your parents in a minute. But what advice would you give to somebody who is wanting to start something up?
Don't. I was saying the same words going in my head.
But it's funny. It's like I think like every entrepreneur that I speak to, or anybody who started their own business, has that same response. But then let me frame it differently. What's the satisfaction that you get out of doing what you do?
Oh, I think I do. I love being able to control my business in that, like, I'm the person that calls all the shots. I do love that. And I love being a creative. And I think I've learned so much. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned about business. And there's nothing that school can teach you or varsity can teach you until you're in the game. So that's hard.
The stuff that you've had to learn. I mean, I think if I think about the two different lines of business that you're in, Skylar, in some respects, fashion, right? You studied fashion, you studied nutrition. So there is some kind of connection. But when you're learning how to do a business, when you're in a factory, when you're ordering fabric, for example, or when you're trying to figure out quantities and all of those sort of things, what's the biggest lesson that you've each learned from starting your business that you didn't know beforehand that you suddenly know now that you wish you'd known then?
Oh, I've got this one.
Pick me.
I said this to my mom the other day. It's like, there's so many lessons and no one can prepare you. So I said, like you start off with a sum of money that you can make a business with and everything, but you have no idea how much money you're going to have to throw into it. One example was fabric. So you just think, you go to the shop, you go to the fabric store. Oh, this fabric will be perfect for the scrubs. And then you get messages, oh, it's pilling, or, oh, this isn't holding up, it's not washing well. You don't think about all these things. I mean, it's clearly obvious when it's like too late, but then it's like sourcing the perfect fabric. And this country, everything is so limited. And to bring stuff in, you've got to have a big stack of cash to bring it in from China, because they don't manufacture fabrics here in South Africa. So I think for me, it was sourcing fabrics, sourcing good people to sew your stuff is difficult. And there's there's so many things. Fit is like how different fits work for different bodies. You've got, it's endless, like with people, and you're never going to impress everyone. Or like Bree was saying with the whole peach thing, is like, it's not going to be for everyone, and to cater for everyone is a nightmare. So yeah,
you've almost got to pick your lane and run in that, and people have got to come along with you. Your business lives online. I mean, we've spoken about that on social media. So people see the glamour side of it. What's the unglamorous stuff that goes on that people don't see?
I think for me, I think I didn't see the fact that, or I didn't expect that I would have to sacrifice everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this is the thing. So you've got masses of orders coming in. People don't see the emotional strain of like orders coming in, clients wanting and demanding. They see the stuff that you post on social media that's lovely. It's like when you are going through this kind of tiredness, emotion, all of that sort of stuff, who's your biggest support, or what's the thing that pulls you through that?
By far, my family. I think they see.
That's okay. We'll give her
a second.
We'll give you a second.
She's been up all night baking. I will tell you.
So it is tough. I mean, I think the thing is that people don't see the sacrifices that entrepreneurs make. They see the end product, they see the flash cars, or they see the great clothes, or they see the international.
We haven't got those yet.
No, you're not there yet, but they see that and they don't know what you've had to go through to get there. What would you say to people who just ignore the fact that you are sacrificing stuff all the time?
I think there was a time where I felt like I've got to prove myself to people. I've got to prove that I work hard. And because people would say, oh, what do you do all day? Do you draw little pictures and, other people do all the work for you and you just, post on Instagram? That's what they think that you do. And the thing is, I don't really care what people think of me anymore because I know what goes into it. The people that matter know what goes into it. And it doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about what people think that I do all day. Some days I do. Some days I'm like, I just wish you knew.
See what I'm doing.
Yeah, let me post it. Let me in the middle of Alex Township. Do any of you do this? But yeah, no, I think it's just knowing for yourself, that you've put in the work for it. And you don't have to impress anyone because you're never going to.
Yeah. So your mom's, are you ready?
I'm good
now.
You
good?
She's good.
She's good. Your mom's a big foodie and you've chosen to go into food. What sort of advice has she given you when it comes to what am I going to cook? What kind of cookie should I go for? How should I do this? Does she give you any kind of input?
So I think I've looked at how she does recipe development and how she's built up her brand. And I think she's definitely taught me determination, and I think that you have to be strong. And I think she's a insanely strong woman and very wise. And I think I see how incredibly smart she is. So I think she's taught me a lot of what I do. I think I've done all the recipe development, but I've seen how she does recipe development and photography and videos. And I think I'm inspired by her. And I think I've looked at her skill and I think I want to apply the same to my business. But she's very meticulous and she's a perfectionist. And I think
you also become one.
Yeah, I think I've got a lot of that. And I think I won't put out something if I'm not proud of it or if it's not perfect. Obviously, nothing's ever perfect and you always have to build it. And you're never, ever going to be perfect. But I think you can try damn hard to be perfect.
So, a lot of people say of my generation, think that your generation's quite flaky and doesn't really kind of know what hard work is. But I think
they are.
Okay. Well,
I agree. I won't disagree.
So then why have you bucked the trend? Because it's you don't build a business without working hard, and you've both indicated how hard you work. And I know that's not BS. You guys work hard.
Thanks.
Well, you wouldn't have successful businesses, right? Yeah. Why is it that you think that you've bucked the trend like that? When you're very quick to admit that your generation is quite flaky.
We are. They are lazy. I think, and I mean, it's horrible to say, but some people, some friends even, I look at them and they're very, they do a normal 9-to-5 job and they don't go above and beyond. I think a lot of our generation don't go the extra mile when it comes to stuff, and it's complaining, oh, they didn't pay me overtime and that kind of thing. It's very lax and I don't know. But for us, I think we realized that if we're not there, all the time, putting in the hours, pushing this business, it's not going to happen. you know. So I think it's like, it looks all like, oh, it's such a good idea to start your business. You can do what you want. You can go away when you want. And then the reality is actually flip. If I don't make this work, and then the thought of going to work for someone else is just not an option for us.
You've now kind of gone past it.
Like,
there's no way.
There's no way. There's days where I want to go work for someone else.
I think we have it like probably once a week. We sit together at like 2 a.m. We'll sit in while she's baking. Tomorrow's the day. We're giving up. We're going to go find a receptionist job, or I'd love to work at Checkers, like just scanning items all day. But like the truth is like, no, we know that if we don't make it happen, it's not going to happen.
So Breeze talked a bit about your mom. Your dad, I guess, is the pater familiar, who is the guy who sets the standard as an entrepreneur. What have you learned? I mean, I'm making a big claim that you can refute that if you want, but it's
nothing. We've learned nothing from him.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
Is that true? Should I stop the question there? How has he helped you get a sense of that work ethic that you're talking about? Because, I mean, he's been in business, for over 30 years, I think it is. Have you learned stuff from him that's helped you kind of push through those moments where you think, oh, gosh, I've got to give this up?
Oh,
I think I sit with Dad so many times, and he is so involved in our lives and in our business. He's the best dad. And I think he's always there for advice. I think we don't know, like, I think, yes, ours is more creative than maybe what his is, although he's developed products forever. But it's like, how do we deal with this client, Dad? Like, what do we do? Or we screwed
Dad's
up.
response to everything is, screw them. You don't need them.
Tell them what you really think. No,
but he's
There's
also,
no filters in your poor dad. He's not here to defend himself. Well, that's good. He'll get a chance. He'll get a chance.
But I think I think my dad's taught me the biggest lesson is that you have to celebrate your failures. And I think he did that in his business, where he had like probably the worst failure in his business, and he got everyone together, and they all thought that he was going to fire everyone, get rid of everyone, and he bought everyone McDonald's, and he said, today's the day we're going to celebrate our biggest failure, you know. So I think that's a thing that I've learned, is that you have to look at your failures, your mess ups. That's so important, and you learn nothing when you're here. You learn nothing when everything's going right. You know, you learn when things go wrong, and when you mess up, you make a mistake, and then you learn not to do it again. You know, so I think he's taught me that lesson, in that you have to have mistakes, you have to have failures in your business, or else what else are you going to learn?
Do you celebrate your successes, though? Because I think it's important to celebrate your failures, because you do learn from them. I get that 100%. But it's like, do you take time out to go, actually, I've sold 1 million cookies, for example, or I've just like completed a massive order. Do you go like, let's celebrate?
I think sometimes I get lost in the fact that like it's so busy, it's so crazy, and then I think you get so overwhelmed with things, and then I'm very hard on myself. I'll never be good enough, like there. I'll never reach here, you know. So I think I'm always very tough on myself, and I always want to be better. I want to be more. I want my business to be more. And I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because I think you do need to look back and see what you have done. But I think maybe like a couple of months ago, I looked at a video that I made, just like a recap of the whole year last year. And I actually just realized that I have come so far, you know, and you've learned so much. And I think it's so important to do that. I don't do it as often as I should. But you do it, yeah, which is great. And Skylar, the same for you? Do you, like, if you seal a big deal, is there...
I mean, I don't go out and party it like about it, but like, I think, yeah, we should do that. No, I think I'm really, I also know that I think I give it to God. I think he, without him, I don't think I would be, some of the stuff, honestly, I don't know where it comes from, these big orders, and I'm like, I know that was God. It wasn't me. So I think I celebrate him. And I think with my family, I think we all so involved in each other's lives and each other's businesses, and one victory for the other person is a victory for the whole family. So I think celebrate it in a sense that we don't go and, I don't know what people do to celebrate, go party and drink and whatever. I think we celebrate it and like, as a family at dinner, and we'll just be like, flip, that's so exciting. I think I do. Or I also want to take a trip. As soon as I get some money, I'm like, look, I'm leaving.
When I make my first bit of profit.
Yeah, I'm going, bye. Yeah, so I think we do.
How important for both of you, it's interesting to hear you mention God, how important is faith in running a business for both of you? Because people might look at it and go, actually, that's rubbish. I mean, it's like all down to hard work and it's like everything I put into it. But the fact that you both, well, I'm assuming that you acknowledge that as well, is that how does that inform the decisions that you make as business owners? Your faith?
I think you can do as much as you can do, but the rest you give it to God. You know, God's going to push your business to where He wants it to go, and I think you have to play your part. You can't just be like, you know what, God's got this. It's amazing, you know. But I think you have to sit there and you have got to put 110% in your business and give the rest to God, you know. And I think, like, I also, like, as Skylar said, like, I wouldn't have most of the clients that I've had if it wasn't for God and these big orders, and they come out of nowhere. Like, I honestly don't even know anyone who knows this person, and they see you and they're like, I heard you from this person, my hairdresser got me the biggest order of my life. And it's just like, and you didn't even see it coming, you know. But it's also the fact that, like, I know for a fact that I couldn't do this by myself. You know, I'm one person, and the things that I've been able to do as one person, that's not me.
You can't explain.
No, yeah, that's not me. That's definitely God.
It's great to hear that. I would imagine also that it helps to have a mom and dad and be in a family of entrepreneurs, because all of you go through the same experiences at one stage or another. So sharing those, what do you learn from those moments of, we were talking about celebrating failure, for example. What do you learn from being together, talking through stuff? How does that help you kind of grow what you're doing, or grow your business, or change ideas, or whatever?
One thing you learn is that it doesn't get easier no matter how long you're in the game for. Because then you think, oh, Dad, you've been doing it for 30 years. And then it's still the same story with a flip. There's no finish line. No, I think we learn a lot from each other and how to deal with a situation. I think from what they've experienced, they can share their knowledge and, like, what's best on how to deal with something. And, like, we all climb in, you know. I think they've got a lot of knowledge and, like, what is the word? I'm blanking.
And I'm not going to help you.
They know what's going on. So they can help with that and give us some direction.
Wonderful. Favorite cookie?
Ooh, the Ferrero Rocher. It's not here, but
What is this, by the way?
so this, can I?
Yeah, you can show it.
Lift it up.
So where's the camera? Okay. So this one is the coconut Raffaello one. Do you want to taste it?
Is that a Ferrero Rocher in there? No, that's not.
It's like a white chocolate.
That's the Raffaello one. Do you want to taste?
You know what? Eating
you
on
want to diet?
eating on camera is never a good idea. It just doesn't. It never looks good. But I'm going to have one. I'm going to have a taste of that. Okay.
Those, I think the Ferrero Rocher is definitely my favorite.
Okay, why?
Because it's like gooey
It's
in the
Ferrero
middle.
Rocher.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's big, it's gooey, it's chocolatey, and I'm a very chocolate person. So you don't get to the size eating carrots.
Favorite color for your scrubs? What's your most favorite thing that you think, if I could make all of them in this color, that would be it?
Oh, mint. I don't know what it is. It's peach or mint. Yeah. I don't know. I'm the light colors, but let's be honest, in the medicine, they love the dark stuff, black.
It hides the blood.
Navy. Yeah, no, exactly. Not a
I mean,
very
to put it
good doctor.
bluntly,
They're probably smart about it. I'm not a doctor though, so it's fine.
Do you ever worry, actually, funny enough, scrubs follow a particular form. So in some respects, doctors and the medical profession are quite conservative. And you've already brought in a little bit of edginess and a little bit of
yeah. You can't be too wild.
Well, this is what I was going to ask. Do you see a time where you could actually start pushing the boundaries and making people think differently? Do you have that in mind, or is that?
I think, you know what, it's like, it's a uniform, so you can't go like super wild. But there's always stuff that you can add in and do, and there are people who are game. I think that's the thing with my business as well, as realizing there's different markets. There's the people who want the cheap stuff that they're going to throw away in 2 months, and they don't care. It costs them 300 Rand. But then you get other clients who want the quality. And then you also get clients who want to do some fun stuff and they're not scared to try out new stuff. So, and that's like custom stuff. And I'm happy to do that.
Is that the stuff that kind of makes, it's a similar question for both of you. So in your thing, is that the thing that excites you most? And is it for you when somebody comes up and says, I want you to develop me a cookie that nobody's ever made before?
Well, that's the worst.
That would be
question.
the most
worst question you could ask me. Don't ask me that.
I wondered if it would be, but I mean, so Sky, for you, is there, do you get a little jolt?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think anything different, like someone just throwing something different. I've got this one client and she's always game for stuff and she's got multiple businesses and, she's like, gives you kind of the creative stick and you must do it. And that's really cool. And I love doing that. Because sometimes as a creative, I feel like my creative juices are just sucked dry when it's just business all the time.
And I know you are both early in your businesses, but if you had an unlimited supply of cash and there was absolutely no problem, which is such an unrealistic kind of thing to be in business, right? But if you had an unlimited amount of cash, would you do the same thing that you're doing now, or would you pivot into something completely different?
Ooh, I think me and my mom were actually speaking about this the other day. We were speaking about this the other day, and my mom, I think she was having a conversation with my dad, and she was saying that I think, would it be different if me and Skylar just had a bunch of money, But I think you learn so much of character. You build your character when you don't have that. When you're given a big stack of cash, sure, it's easy to throw it around and be like, yeah, buy me that, give me a coffee shop.
Would you still do it?
Yeah, I would. I would. Thank you.
we stray so much.
But I think I want to work for it. I want to start from a small, tiny thing and grow, But I think I would still do what I do, even if I did have a big amount of cash.
And even the sacrifices that you have to make a success of business, would you
still do it?
You'd still do it, yeah. Because again, it comes back to that whole thing we were saying earlier on about what you've got to give up. I'm not going to ask you your ages, but you're young enough to
27.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
24. If you have any sons, we are single cousins. Anyone single, not married, please.
They would have to put up with quite a bit, though, right? Because they would have to put up with. You were talking about baking at 2 a.m. in the morning, like getting stuff done. So that's quite an ask of
packing
somebody.
orders. We also like to do that at 2 a.m.
And here's the thing: it's like you've got to be strong characters to run businesses. So you'd have to find somebody who's strong, right? So any guys who are out there who are single who can handle two dynamic women,
good looking as well.
And it would help if they're rich. I'm guessing because they're rich. Exactly. Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I've loved hearing just like the journey that you've been on, and wish you every success for the new ranges that we're going to see coming out, for the new cookies that you're going to develop, because and we'll get to try those off camera so you don't have to see me eating. But this has been another episode of Mavericks. It's been great to have you along for the ride. It's been great to chat to both Skylar and to Sabrina about their jobs and their work and their businesses. Actually, before we go, just give us a quick plug for where people can find you on social media and what your business is actually called, because we haven't mentioned that.
Okay, so it is called on Instagram, it's Baked by Bree, but one day when I do my restaurant, it's going to be called Breeze. So B-R-E-E.
So we were going to end this conversation. Now we're starting to head into like, you're going to develop like a restaurant. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
No, can we carry on?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm joking.
And your social media handles?
It's just at Skylar Jade Scrubs.
Great. So there you go. Oh, sorry, that was such a letdown.
From me.
Short and to the point. It's been great having you along for the ride. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it and share it with your friends far and wide, and check out their social media. You'll be surprised by the amazing things that are there. Thanks for joining us today.